Okay. Hello, everyone. This is Camille Bush. This is Passing the Crown. And we also have my beautiful co-host, Leasia Lux. Look at how beautiful she
Yes.
is.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. Welcome to
Yes.
Passing the Crown.
Episode 5, everyone. So we're glad that we have the supporters. Keep liking, keep sharing, keep subscribing. Thank you so much. We appreciate you 100%. So we're going to dive into episode 5. I'm going to lead it today, and Leasia will, of course, come in. So today's episode, what I really want to talk about, and sorry to the audience, today I am going to be using a lot of my phone because I put a lot of notes on it. So I kind of just want to reference the notes that I've made for episode 5. So episode 5, Passing the Crown, the world through our eyes. And I say our eyes because Passing the Crown relates to me, who's Leasia's mom, and Leasia, who's my daughter. And we want to talk more about this episode and the reason why I selected this episode, because with the world news going on. And Leasia brought to my attention, she said, Mom, I don't really watch news. She really doesn't. And then she's not the only one.
I'm in my own world.
Correct. And she's not the only one in this generation who really don't pay attention to news too much because it's depressing.
Yep.
Can we agree to that,
It is.
Leasia?
It's very depressing. And, just in my opinion, the media has its own agenda that it likes to push. So I like to just control my own narrative of what I pay attention to.
I love it. And this is why I came, and I was talking about this, and I kind of was thinking about, like you said, Mom, well, you got to tell me first, and, I could kind of go off of that. So in yesterday's headline, as most of us heard, so by the time we drop this episode, this will be old news, but it's in today's headline, so it's new news. Mm-hmm. So we've heard about what happened with a NBA player. His name is Terry Rozier, and an NBA coach who is actively playing and who is coaching. And we hear this, and the only reason I'm bringing this up, because I don't know them personally, but I have to bring it on because they're our culture. They're black men, black successful men, and they've been picked up because, as the FBI Patel, the director of the FBI, said, they were running a ring of gambling, throwing, they said Terry Rozier faked injuries so people can bet that he wouldn't play in the game of some sort. And then the coach himself was this particular coach was having private poker, gambling sessions in hotels where they were rigging the hotel, rigging the poker games with machines, X-ray machines. Yes. So it has been big. It still continues to be big. It's on ESPN Sports and everything. And I'm going through this really quickly because I want to focus on these men who are in power. And I say power because they have more than me, they have more than you, and they've come from the ground up and worked to get to the success. Yet now their name is being tarnished. I don't know if it's true because, you're guilty you're innocent until proven guilty. So I'm not going to say both these people are guilty because we don't know the facts.
Right.
FBI investigators, police, they come up with their own thing and then they make these arrest warrants out to these people. But we are the people who are watching everything. We don't know if they're guilty or not. We don't know what they played, what role they had in this. But I bring it up because, again, this is what I say, and I tell people all the time, that we have to be mindful that as black women, black men, we are looked on under a microscope every day. If we have more than the next person, we're being looked at. If our money is coming in excessive, we're getting so much of it, we're being looked at. We want to be targeted. And even though they say we live in a world that doesn't have racism, I feel like we always being looked at, and racism is around us 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. It may not be directly pointing at us, but it's definitely hitting us around the world, and globally it's affecting us a lot. We have a new administration, President Donald Trump. He's in power, and there's a lot of changes that are happening for yourself, for us, for all of black and brown people. And we really, really have to, even though you don't like news, and I get the reason why, but we really have to look at these things, because now it wasn't just something simple where you could look at it and like, oh, okay, it's going to pass. Now this is happening global with deportation, people walking outside and being stopped by ICE agents to ask, are you U.S. citizen? What's your status here? This never happened. And I'm 48, so I want to say for the 25, almost 30 years of my life, I haven't seen anything like this. This is scary. It's scary because I have 2 beautiful daughters. I have a son. So as a mom, as a parent, you look at this and you hear this, it really doesn't sit well with us. It doesn't sit well with me, because I'm a news junkie. I'm always looking on news, whether it be CNN, whether it be Fox News, whether it be, BBC News. I just like to look at world news just to be informed. But now I'm crying a lot more than actually listening to the news, because it's heartbroken. I'm heartbroken, It's just sad. It's very unfortunate that what we're seeing, and that is the reason why I said, today topic, I really want to lead with global news and news in itself. And I'm glad you pointed that out to me. You said, Mom, I don't really
Well, just
care
because
for
I
that.
don't watch the news doesn't mean I don't stay updated.
Oh, of course.
So again, just like initially when I went into college, I started off as a journalism major. I learned really early that they pick and choose what they decide to put into the news. The news has been sad for years. And they use that for a bigger agenda. I mean, it is really unfortunate what's going on, but it gets to a place where it's like people pay attention when the glass hits the ceiling or when the ceiling breaks, right? Because Trump got into power because of what? People put him in power.
Absolutely. You're absolutely right.
He's been a racist and a bigot for a long time, and they put him into power. Our people, our community, a lot of us aren't doing the things that we need to do to have more power in this country outside of the entertainment world. And it's just sad. It's sad what it's come to. It's sad that the underprivileged communities are the communities that are really getting attacked. And to be honest, because I have a lot of friends who are extremely passionate about the ICE raids and their stance against it and everything, sometimes I just feel like the only thing that I can do and the only thing that's in my power is really to just focus on bettering myself so that I can get myself out of this situation, right? Because we can't save the world unless we save ourselves. Biggie said it. Biggie said it. Can't.
I love what Liasia said. She's making real great points and really putting facts out there, right? We are seeing all these things in the news. We are looking at everything in the news, and as much as we would want to do, like there are people on the front line doing things, right? They're protesting, they're doing all this. But like she said, I don't think our voices are really being heard, right? And the most that we can do, and I'm going to speak for myself, is exactly, let's put ourselves in better positions where we can help and put people in other positions to educate them. And one of the things with passing the crown is that my mom, may she rest in peace, didn't know a lot of things when she came to this country, because she immigrated to the country and she only knew what they told her, right? So she didn't know that, she should have became a U.S. citizen so she can vote, so she can put rights, as you voting, that you putting things into place that you want to be, or things that you would like to do. Speak to your congresswoman, your congressman. Speak to the people in your community. She didn't know those things because the people that brought her here didn't know those things as well.
And honestly, she probably wasn't interested, because you have to take some accountability. And that's why I say our community, because people will come up and, I love grandma, of course, but people come up with excuses like, oh, I don't know, I came here, so I don't know, but then there's people who come here, like, and they make it a point to educate themselves on the laws of the country, on the ways to get ahead, on the ways to, because this entire country is literally made of people who aren't from here, including the people that are in power. They came here too. They just came here and made up their own rules. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know, it's been 100+ years and we still running by their rules.
So I'm going to ask you a question. And, you know, how is your generation looking at, and I know you can't speak for your whole generation, but you have a lot of friends and, you know, and stuff. How does your generation look at everything going on and with mental health and all that, with everything they see around them? How do you think they're handling it?
Honestly, it's really hard for me to gauge because I don't have too many friends, for real. And the friends that I do have, like the two of them, it is very hurtful, like especially the ones who live in California who have seen a lot of the ICE raids, who have friends and family members that were affected by it. It's really unfortunate. I have friends who have participated in protests or want to participate in protests. As far as mental health goes, it's really hard to gauge for me only because I feel like, I don't know, my generation is really like, you know, the millennials are like super on the internet, and a lot of people mix up the millennials with like Gen Z, two different generations, right? Millennials is like, I think the late 80s to 1999.
Okay.
So a lot of those people are already like in the working force, have families, are living their life, or in college, or, you know, it's a little bit different for them because everyone's working, everyone's still has families to go to, still has things. I mean, it's one of those things where I guess if you're not like directly being affected by it, it's almost like, what could you really do?
Okay. I mean, that's a great answer. And I only bring that up because I have a friend of mine's. Shout out to Jessica. She's a social worker and has her own business. And she told me that, you know, she's meeting a lot of clients who are saying they want to kill themselves, they want to do this, and she's trying to get them help, but she can't get them help because they're scared. They don't want to tell their status. They don't want to, because
Oh, wow. So they're like a lot of undocumented people.
Correct. Or even if they feel like they might be documented to an extent, they don't even want to take the risk to get the proper help. So she feels like, and she's ultra sensitive, and she resonate with stuff because, you know, she's Puerto Rican descent, just like I'm Haitian descent. So when we look at that, we're like, we want to help because we can help, but they don't understand that because they look at us as they're scared. Like, oh, you saying you can help me? Next, you know, I'm gonna go down the block. They lock me up. So that's why I say this. With everything's going on, our mental health, where we are right here, has really shot us, and it's really bad because I'm talking to friends, coworkers, people that I've known for a long time. They said, Camille, this is a lot. Like if we can get up today and say we want to move to a different country, a lot of people are saying that they want to do that.
A lot of people are saying,
Right?
a lot of people are moving to different countries. I have like one or two friends that have moved out of the country, literally.
Wow.
Like, but they've kind of moved out. They like, I feel like there's been some sort of leading up to this in a sense. So like some people kind of spotted it early on and was like, yeah, it's time to like. And I think more people are realizing that there is life outside of the United States. A lot of, because we've been told like our whole lives, like, oh my God, this is the land of opportunities, the best country in the world, it's the best country in the world. And to an extent it is, but also I feel like it's perspective, right? It's the greatest country to some people, and some people unfortunately don't get that experience.
Yes, you're right. That greatest country, what we used to hear all the time, land of the free, land of the brave, has now become seldom. Like you don't hear that no more. You don't hear the positivity anymore walking down the streets. And it's sad, it's unfortunate. And you're right. And I don't know what to do to help people. Like I don't know in what position I can put myself in to say, hey, come to me, let me help you. Because I just feel like everything is such at a far distance to help.
Well, what would be like helping to you? Like what type of help would you offer people, and who is the people that you would help?
I would offer my help to anyone and anybody who needs it, right? Whether you're an immigrant, whether you're a green card holder, whether you're a U.S. citizen. Because the problem is that when you don't know and you're unaware of things, you're scared. You're put in this box and then you don't want to say the wrong things. And then when you talk to somebody who doesn't know, they're telling you the wrong things. So I would like to maybe do a classroom setting where you can like raise your hand, ask questions, and you don't have to say who you are. I don't have to ask you those questions, just to kind of help them understand the information that's out there. Help them understand that they do have free legal help out here for people who can't afford an attorney. They have stuff for people to get help, any type of help, honestly. But it's when people are in this situation, they start looking around. Oh my God, I need this. You know that. They start saying, oh my God, I need to find somebody to help me. I need some. So it becomes like, wow.
Yeah. I mean, and then we're also dealing with an administration that has made it their like agenda to get rid of a lot of programs that were geared towards helping undocumented people and immigrants. And then also I will say that you have a lot of people who are U.S. citizens that don't necessarily feel how we feel, right? There was the Charlie Kirkland guy, I don't want to missay his name, that I know a lot of his beliefs were that he was against illegal immigration, right? So he was against people who came into this country illegally.
Charlie Kirk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What I said, Kirkman?
Yeah.
Isn't that like a brand or something? That's how you know I just feel my own Charlie Kirk. Okay, yeah. So, and there's a lot of people who resonated with those messagings, and there's a lot of people who agreed with that. So it's really one of those things where, like, even sometimes I think to myself, like, how do I feel about like illegal immigration versus legal immigration? And it's one of those things that it's so tricky. I don't ever want to say something's right or something's wrong, or because then you have a lot of people who come into this country and they do wonderful things, whether they come here legally or illegally. And then you have the anomalies of people who do come here and they kind of make an example of why people don't want illegal immigrants coming into the country, right?
I mean, so if you had to stand on a side and they told you, Liasia, where would you stand if A, we have too much immigrants, it's time to get them out, or B, let them come in and we'll figure it out? Where would you stand in between that? Where would you be at?
Ooh, that's hard. I feel like I'm on the spot. I don't even
I'm
like
so
talking about
sorry.
politics.
I mean,
it's hard
here
for me because I want to say, I don't know. See, that's why, because again, it's like there's pros and cons of everything, right? Because I also do feel and stand with the U.S. citizens who have been struggling. And I mean, because we saw during, right, when the war between Ukraine and Russia started, and how a lot of those refugees or from the war or whatever, fugitives, I don't know like the specific name you would give them, the illegal Ukrainian immigrants, when they came over here, right, and they were granted all of these
benefits. Because their country was at war,
right?
So,
but then you have other countries that when they're at war, they're coming and they're not getting anything. So that's not fair to me. And then my answer to that would be like, well, then I'm against it, because if you're gonna pick and choose what country can come and who could get what benefits, and let's be real, most Ukrainians aren't our color, they're not our complexion, right? And then the people who do come here who are our color and our complexion are having a hard time getting the benefits, then I'd rather than nobody just don't give it to nobody or don't let nobody in. So I don't know.
Again, like you said, that's not such an open-ended question either, but I get what you're saying. But when I look at things like that, and America has always opened their doors for everyone, right? We have become overpopulated in so many different ways. And for the people who are American citizen, who lives in this country, who's born in this country, we look at the immigrants that come in here and they benefit more than the people that live in this country. Now, can I say that for every immigrant? I can't. Can I say that for every American? I can't. However, the numbers and the statistics don't lie, right? We've seen a fluctuation of immigrants migrating to America. Whereas if you look at Canada, I'm going to say Canada because I used to live there. And I remember one time I was crossing the border. I was about 7.5 months pregnant. Mind you, Canada is our neighbor. I have a U.S. passport. I get to the border. I'm stopped. And we're driving. And I'm stopped. And the immigration officer, I'll never forget, what's your purpose here? Well, I'm coming to visit my sister. I have a lot of family in Canada. I have my sister, my aunt, everybody on that side. And I said, I'm coming to visit my sister. Well, you look very pregnant. I said, I am, but I'm 7 months. I'm not due until June. So this was, I want to say had to be like April. I said, okay, I'm not due yet, but I'm okay, whatever. They went on and asked me a series of questions until finally they told me, you know what, ma'am? It would be best if you would go back to the States, have your baby, and then come back. Whereas when people are coming into our country, they could come through, immigration would stamp them, they ask a few questions, they answer them right, they let them in. With Canada, who's our next door neighbor. And I had no intent to have my child in Canada. I'm okay. I'm an American citizen. I have my doctors over there. I didn't want to have no baby in Canada. Right. But it's just to show you how that restraint was there. And I was pregnant. And I was okay. I wasn't fleeing my country. I was coming to visit. So, yes, I do think that we have an fluctuation of immigration. How the administration is handling, is that correct? No. Maybe it could have been handled a different way. Maybe it should be handled a different way. I agree with you. I don't think ICE needs to go around to different neighborhoods and pinpoint people. Absolutely not. Because we're still human. We have human rights.
Right.
You know, I understand. But we have to find a way to kind of get to that median where how do we get the help for people here? We got so much starving Americans here. Yep. So much people who are homeless. They don't have food. The shelters are overcrowded. How do we help them?
Agreed. That's why I'm so happy I'm not in politics. Jesus, because just trying to figure out my life is already like, whew. Yeah. Imagine having, that's why like I'm never too hard with my views on the administration or on politics or the government. Because I always feel like you get people who are like, oh my God, this is so wrong. This is what they're going to be doing. Okay, so then why aren't you getting into office? Why aren't you going for city commissioner? Why aren't you trying to get into the No, for real. And we get a lot of that in our community where people have these strong ideals. I call them neighborhood debaters, right? They want to debate how long, like this is how the government should be ran and this is how things need to, but they're not really doing anything about it, you know? Because if we're not putting action behind the words, it's almost like, because there are community, like again, the people who are in power are also in power for a reason. They decided to take the power. They didn't like something. They all got up, left their country. Granted, there was already people here, because, you know, I know they're trying to twist around the history books now and to whatever it is.
Right.
But especially out here in Florida, they're just, the school system is what they're teaching people is crazy. But they were tired of their stuff in Europe and wanted opportunity, came and got to America, didn't care who was here, had their power, pushed them out the way, made their own rules, and everyone kind of went with it. You know, no one has really, and a little bit of a sidetrack, this is why I love my man Kanye West, but like he said, 400 years of slavery, it's like we're still in slavery because people just kind of, even the immigrants who come over here, everyone just kind of comes here and just assimilates to whatever the political stuff are, you know? Not too many, like I personally don't even know anyone in my age group, in my personal like peers or anything that is trying to get into politics or the administration or is trying to really make an impact on their community. So how do we change the system? How do we make it a better community? a lot of people are just worried about, kind of like myself, like, I got to figure out shit for myself. I got to save myself.
I agree, but the impact starts small first, and I get it. It is a lot, especially as individuals that have who has a lot of personal things going on in their lives.
I mean, even for your generation too, right? Because I know some people are in politics, but what are they doing? A lot of people get into politics and they're not really advocating or trying to change the stuff. There, a lot of people that are in the government kind of use it to their benefit, and it's like a job.
Yeah, I could agree and disagree because, like you said, there are people that come into government that are black and brown. Some will help us, some will advocate for, and then there are people that are using it to the best of their ability so they can get something from it. And I've always told you that, and recently I said that I would love to run for something, right? But even if I didn't win, it's a name recognition thing for me. But I would love to run for something, to sit on a board, whether it be in my community, whether it be in the county I live in, just because you want to get these talks out. You want to have people come in and stand and say what they have to say and see what impacts you can do and see what you can do. Because you can't help everyone, but you can try, and I'm never going to stop trying to help, to go out there and give the message or tell the message. But you're right. I mean, every day I look at news, and every day I'm scrolling through the phones or listening and doing this. And it's just, you're right. I feel lost. I feel like I'm a little fish in a big ass pond where you don't even know if you're going this way, you're going this way, you're going, because it's so much. It just comes at you. And when you sit there, whether you speak to somebody who's into politics, not into politics, it's the same reaction. Like, damn, what's going on in this world? Why are we in a situation like this? Why is now other countries looking at us and like, wow.
Laughing.
Because
that's what I've heard from my friends that are traveling.
We're looked at and we're being mocked at. Like, where does our government stand? And again, this is not a show about politics. This is not a show about us pushing an agenda out to anyone. It is just an open platform where me and my daughters have passing the crown, just talking about these things, because sometimes we don't talk to our kids about what's going on in the world, whether it's good, bad, or indifferent. We have to talk to them, get their insight on things and see how they look at it from their perspective.
And I think besides insight, what needs to happen is, and this is why I'm always stressing education, because there's not enough of us educating ourselves in certain. That's why I decided to study law. And I was just talking to my friend about that, because the only way that we can make changes is, again, changes with ourselves, right? So even for you, like I said, if you want to get into politics, there's literally like fields in college on law. Philosophy teaches you the base of like morality and what that means, and the start of government and governance and self-governance versus governance of a whole society, right? What's the making of society? People learn all these things. And this is where our community kind of lacks, because we don't emphasize education. And then, I mean, how many people have told me, oh my God, school's dumb. What do you want to go to school? Nobody rich goes to school. That's not true. A lot of the people in politics and in the government are educated. Because if you don't learn the foundations or even the basis of the things that run this country, it is going to be hard to infiltrate or to even understand or even to make changes to something. There's literally people who go to school for poli-science just to learn the political science of how that works. There's criminal law, right? There's justice. There's the justice system outside of the criminal side of it, right? You have the legislative branch that you can go into learning about, like sociology and how that coincides, and how, like, I got my undergraduates in psychology because I know like everything boils down to how people think and how the mind operates.
Wow.
So in order for people to even, like, if we just break it down to how society works, I mean, the people on top figured out very early on what is it that people care about, how to manipulate or how to get a certain amount of people to even be on board with things. That goes on to mindset and how everything works. And I feel like we don't look at it on a bigger scale, right? Mm-hmm. It's easy to say, like, I want to help, but how do we help if we don't know what we're even going against, right? Or how things operate or how things work.
You're going to be a great attorney. I'm cheering for you. So I just did a quick little search here, and I just wanted to get an idea, like, how many people have immigrated to the U.S. since 2023? How much do you think?
Damn.
Give me a number.
Probably in the millions, huh?
Give me a number.
Let's just say like 1.2 mil.
All right. So this is why I'm so excited to have you as my child. I knew you were special when you came out. So it's estimated arriving in the U.S. in 2023 about 3.3 million people. That's insane.
That is a lot. Because how many people are even in the world?
Right. So just imagine that. I just need to understand that. Like, how many people have immigrated to the U.S. in 2023? I didn't even go 2024. I'm just doing 2023. Right. Imagine. So the estimated for immigrants arriving in the U.S. in 2023, Congress Budget Office estimate that the immigration at 3.3 million people have reported. Now, remember there are people who came in this country that haven't documented themselves. So we only, the 3.3 are people that's actually documented on paper. But we all know that it can be 3 times more than that.
Right.
Okay?
And see, also, that's why I'm also not, like, super against our administration and everything, because at the same time, it is what you make it. There's people who've come here, documented, undocumented, and they climb up that ladder, and they do what they gotta do, and they build up their community, and they, and they make the most. They came from a small village in another country,
right,
where there wasn't any opportunity. You have some people who come from a place where there's no running water, and they come here, and you get access to education, you get access to a healthcare system, you get access to this. Now, does it require a lot of work? It does, and that's why I could never just sit there and point out all the evil in the system, because it's also like, where there's good, there's bad.
Right.
Where there's evil, there's good.
Yeah,
it's all really what people make of it.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot, and again, with everything that has gone on for the past couple of days, looking at the news, looking at our government shutdown. Shout out to all the TSA workers.
Oh my God!
Shout out to the IRS workers. Shout out to all the federal government workers, because we are here with you. Because I wouldn't know what I would do, because we rely on these checks to pay our mortgages, our home, our rent, our car notes, our gas, all these things that we rely on. And we are 27 days in.
Yeah, insane.
27 days. It's insane. So, yes, I have family members who work for the federal government. And it's sad. Like, I'm texting, like, hey, you good? Like, I know I ain't got much, but do you need some gas money? Because it's hard. It's hard out here. And we have people really struggling in this world. And we at a federal standstill. Everything is shut down, and they are forced to work. Today I was listening to the Morning Breakfast Club, and there was a caller that called in, and she said, what I would do, or what I would like the world to do, Black and brown people, is don't show up for work. Don't show up for work. Don't, leave them crippled. And yes, it sounds good, but in reality, we can't do that. You know why? Because the bills and she made a point. She said, stop going to work, stop paying these bills, stop doing. She said, if you think about it, Jimmy Kimmel, I hope I'm saying his name right, Jimmy Kimmel, right? When they booted him off his Tonight Show, quickly everybody said, you know what? We canceling our subscription with Disney. We're not doing Hulu. We're not doing this. We're not doing this. How quickly did they get him back on that Tonight Show?
And again, this ties back to our community. And what Tupac used to say, if you don't stand for something, you fall for anything, right? So
look at her with the lyrics.
No,
guys.
For real, because people, and this is where my stance comes in, and sometimes I get into little arguments with like my friends or little debates, because You know, to me, if we're gonna protest and if we're gonna really change the system, where's the unity? Because people
don't
could
have
go
that.
in the streets and, oh my God, and raise signs, but that ain't doing nothing. If you know the law anyways, all they once you go do that and it's a gathering of people, they don't consider that a protest. In the law, it's considered a riot.
Or mob, as they call it. Right,
Yeah.
mob. So to my point and to your point
Mm-hmm.
is exactly, everybody came for Jimmy. They said, he got to get back on. We're going to stop this. We're going to stop this. If black and brown people stop shopping in all these high-end stores, everything that they know that we like, because we don't have money, but we'll shop at their stores, and we stop that for 3 months, we would cripple the economy.
We would. I
We
think
would
they
put
said
a
that we
dent in this economy.
what they said, black and brown people make up about 3 trillion of the buying power, right?
Yep, we
But
buy.
again, people aren't. It has to go beyond just being upset and being neighborhood debaters.
Yep.
It has to. You'll see 3 uncles on the block talking about Trump ain't shit, but
What y'all doing?
ain't doing nothing, and then gonna clock in to their job tomorrow. They're not taking a stance.
Yeah.
And again, I see both sides of it. A lot of people are scared to take a stance. A lot of people don't have the means to take their stance. But this is why you have to make the most out of your situation,
Yes.
right? You have to put yourself in position. When you rely on a government, when you rely on any entity, a government, a person, a thing, then when they decide to pull the rug up under you, and I think about stuff like that all the time.
Yeah, yeah. And again, these are the things I look at. These are the things I think about. I'm like, if we just, including myself, because I'm a shopaholic, I'm a fashionista. I love to dress up. I love to buy expensive stuff. But if we stood together as a unit, we would get so much done. And if you think about that, right, in the 1950s, 60s, Martin Luther King era, they stood up as a unit. They did things together. When they said no one was getting on that bus and they protest those bus lines, they were crippled. They were hurt.
But this is where it ties into like the agenda that the media and that, I don't know if I want to say the government or whoever's in charge pushes, right? Because back then they didn't have social media, right? They didn't have this thing distracting.
They had a
everyone.
phone call they met at churches. They met at people homes.
Community centers.
Community center. That's how they made a stand. They didn't have social media. Imagine if they had social
And
media.
look, and just going beyond that, right? This is a distraction.
Yeah.
So it's easy, like, and I see that a lot with like the younger generation, right? Gen Z, which is like my younger cousins and below, Gen X, whatever, Gen X, then Gen Z, whatever, the lower generations, is they don't even care about what's going on because all they care about is social media. All they care about is, and unfortunately, our community happens to be the people who resonate with that sentiment the most, where a lot of people don't care. They're like, as long as I look good and I could just get fly and go online, I don't care. They're not thinking deep enough. And so I feel like a lot of this has been purposely put into our society, into our communities to distract us, right? Just like back in the 70s when they started opening a bunch of liquor stores, right? Just like when crack hit the streets, when drugs hit the streets. You know, we're also still in a fentanyl epidemic, right? There's millions of Americans who are overdosing every year. So when you have a country where there is an agenda being pushed to constantly distract its citizens so that they don't rise up together, it's hard. Even in the 70s, I mean, even in the 60s, really, a lot of big black political leaders were killed, were taken out, were assassinated.
They were assassinated.
And that
But
wasn't done just to kill him, knock him off. That was done purposely to say, hey, if you want to stand up, cool, but this is what's going to happen.
Right.
So it was purposely done to keep people from wanting to
But
come up.
a lot of those assassinations also had other leaders involved, other people pushing out there said, even though this person got assassinated, we still got to stand up for our right. We still got to come out here. Because yes, it happened, but there were, again, I'm going to say that back then it was more unity. Back then, people, after Martin Luther King got assassinated, they went out again. They went and protest again. Because how many of us can you get rid of? Right?
I mean, but the agenda was strong. We had the Black Party Panther movement. How many of those leaders were killed, were arrested, were thing? I mean, I just said it. If you get a crowd of people together and you protest, they consider that a riot. They can arrest everyone. They could put everyone in jail. They could enact martial law where they get the army involved, which they're already doing in a lot of cities.
And a lot of these different states.
So that makes the average person not want to stand out, not want to think.
But then it comes to who wants to do it? Who's okay getting the cuffs thrown on them? Who's okay being dragged? We see it all the time. I get it. We see it all the time. You're right. Some people want to stand on the sideline and say, yo, I don't want to get involved. That's too much for me. But then we have people that do want to get involved. Are there enough people? No, there are not enough people that want to get involved. There are not enough people that are out there, walking the pavement, knocking on people's doors, say, yo, we got to stand up for our right. We don't have enough of that. And we don't have enough of that. But you made a good point because of these cell phones, because of social media, because of that.
Because of these bills.
That part. Because of a lot of different things. But if we want to take a stand on things and if we want to do something, we need to look back to Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, the Black Panther movement. These people made stuff happen. They moved. They were part of a movement. They meant something. After the $1 Million March, I don't know whatever happened after that. Is that a yearly thing? I don't know. I haven't looked it up. Do they continue to do that? Do we continue to have space where we're not just getting on each other? We're not just online saying, oh, this person is crashing out. This person's doing this person doing this. Are we looking within ourselves? Are we looking within ourselves? I look at TikTok all the time, social media all the time, and it's sad. It's funny and it's sad, but you look back and you say, wow, they bashing on each other every day, all day, because they've let the white people understand that they let the white people know that, okay, these white people are more inferior than us, so they making us feel like crap about ourselves, and now we're going to feel crap about other black people. We don't become united as one. We see a downfall for one, we talk about them. Oh, Camille lost her business. I knew that shit was going to happen. I knew this was going to happen. I knew this. What? Pick up a phone. Sis, you okay? What's going on? Do we need to revamp what's going on with the business?
I would say the empathy and the compassion is at an all-time low. And I was telling my friend that, like, people don't even care about people anymore because we've become so desensitized to... We've become like society is now desensitized most American citizens. And I'm going to say American because it's not the entire world that operates like this. People are desensitized to murder. They're desensitized to people getting hurt. They're desensitized to poverty. They're desensitized to the homeless. They're desensitized to the things that are happening so when people are just, if it seems so far away and becomes unrelatable, I mean, like, I've seen little kids laugh at videos of people getting shot and killed. And that's sad because at one point, I'm sure, like, when you were growing up, I know when I was growing up, the idea of even hearing someone being shot or seeing that was sad.
Body. Yeah, that was crazy. That's traumatizing.
But again, we have these distractions, these video games where people could sit and all day, and then they get so used to, because again, and this is why I say it's like a psychological thing. We're really in a psychological warfare because it's not just us and our own thoughts and our own wants and our own needs, right? We're also dealing with the wants and the needs that are being pushed on us in society. We live in a very consumer-based society. So the entire push and the agenda is always to make people want to buy. They don't care if people want to live. They don't care if people want to stand for something. They don't care. They just want people who are going to work to buy, make money to buy, get money and spend it. Not go build a life, not use it as a tool to create the life that you want, not save your family, not even take your money and go back to your country and build up a community. No, it's literally, we live in a society that just wants people to spend their money, be distracted, and spend their money. I can't even name anything else that the country really stands for at this point.
Absolutely right. This has been one of those topics that will always be something popular, will always be something to talk about, because we're living in it now. We're living in a world where uncertainties are happening. We're living in a world that we don't know if we're going up, if we're going down, where we're going. But I want to always talk to my kids, talk to the ones I love the most about what are we going to do? How are we going to try to step back and reassure us people, the people that are close to us, the people that we love you, that we're here for you, that we know it could be hard. That's why I'm reaching out to my cousins and the people who are part of this shutdown. Like, I know it could be hard when you depend on, and how much of us? About 85% to about 90% of the world live check to check.
Well, in America.
In America, live check to check.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason why is because everything is expensive, the high cost of groceries, gas.
The cost of living
the
goes
cost
up,
yeah,
and then the pay
your
don't even go up.
Just stays like this, stagnant. So it's not, the math is not mathing in
the
America.
math ain't mathing.
At all.
The country did, I feel like at one point, look like it was going in a direction. And I don't know if maybe the surge of technology has really kind of, because I think about that now too, like with AI being implemented, right? And you have certain companies rolling things out. Like McDonald's in a couple different states is already getting rid of actual cashiers because they have robots, they have systems in place. So I think like, well, what happens to those people who lose those jobs, or what happened to those jobs that are now lost? Because again, the people at the top, their biggest thing is money, money, money. How can I have more money? They don't care about the small person that can't afford to have a job.
Yeah.
That loses that paycheck. And then who could even live off of McDonald's paycheck anymore?
Yes, for sure. Whew, that was great. It was definitely an eye opener just to have this conversation with you, Liasia, and to talk about it and stuff. I also want to introduce, if I don't, sorry guys, again, I'm looking at my phone. I'm not being rude. I also want to introduce, last week, me and Liasia was introduced by a network of people, great people, by the way. I know a couple of them in that network.
Speaking of legal.
Yeah. And since we touch upon the things that are going on in this world today, a lot of things that people are facing. And this opportunity came to me last week when I was asked, hey, Camille, you ever heard about LegalShield? Prepaid Legal was the original name. Then they became LegalShield. They revamped and called themselves LegalShield. And the person that asked me about this, I was like, I got LegalShield. My husband that I just married, love him to death, automatically put me on this coverage where we have attorneys accessible to us, God forbid if anything were to happen, to us and our kids of the age of 26. So at 26, they're covered up to the age of 26. After 26, they have to get their own plan. And when she told me about it, I said, yeah. She said, well, Camille, I'm glad you have it, and I had a feeling you would have it. We can become sales associates by selling prepaid LegalShield. And I said, what? Because this is the platform me and my daughter share. I want to tell the listeners, the people that subscribe, listen to us, everything. Be a part of LegalShield. You don't have to join as an associate, but you should have it. It is so important. You might think about, oh, I'm paying a subscription. I got all these subscription. Whatever subscription you have, cancel too and get this just because it's worth it. You don't know how much phone calls I get during the year about, Camille, you know a good attorney? Camille, can you help me out? Something happened. I need an attorney. I need this. I need that. We live in a world that is driven by having legal representation.
Yeah.
And it is important that you cover yourself and your family at 100%. It is important.
Yes.
So for anyone who is interested in getting to understand more about the Legal Shield, about prepaid legal, Leasia and myself, we always do a little Zoom networking, and I also host at my home sometime, and we could talk more about it one-to-one. We'll put all the information when we drop this episode. You'll see the link when we drop the episode, our email address, phone numbers, and you can DM us, and we can give you more information. What better place to introduce this than passing the crown? Because, again, I have 3 kids. Liasia's the oldest out of 2, and these are important things that we know we need, because Liasia had a problem with a ticket. Guess what? If she had LegalShield, she wouldn't have had to pay the ticket clinic.
Yeah, I paid the ticket clinic a lot of money. And just not only that, if you need help with contracts, if you need help writing a will, how many of us don't have a will? You know, and then people have to figure out after the family member dies, like, damn, what rights do we have to this person's stuff? What this person left behind? What could we do with their things? What we can't do with their things? You know, and LegalShield, you're getting that for how much?
You're getting that if you join, the monthly subscription for that is $71 a month.
Yeah.
If you become associate, for every policy you sell, you get $80. For every associate you sign up, you get $416. I mean, it's so much to this stuff. You don't have to be an associate. You can just sell the product.
There's a legal benefit to it as being a member. And then if you're looking to make an extra income and you and you're passionate about helping people, why not sign up and make money too, you know? So it's a great company.
Yeah, it's a great company. They've been around for 50 years. So they know what they're doing. They've been doing it for quite some time, and they're still around. And they've helped millions of people. So to be even introduced to this was, a blessing in disguise. Because not only do I tell everybody, I do taxes and finances. I help people out in the world to understand their taxes, their ups and downs, their when they're scared about the IRS. I make these phone calls for you guys. I help you understand what is going on. I do amendments. I do business taxes. I do registering the business, opening your bank account for the business. So I do them all. And a lot of times, doing all of those things, having that legal shield right next to everything, just really, that's the icing on the cake to make everything work and to make everything run smoothly. They have it for businesses. They have legal shield for small businesses, and they have them for individual. So I'm starting to offer it to a lot of my business clients, and honestly, they didn't even know about it. They were like, what? And you just paid this monthly cost? Yes. It is. They have small businesses, and we all know that once you have a small business, once you become okay in your business, people want to come around and sue you. They want to do a lot. So be prepared and have the right people in your corner. They have a slew of attorneys in that network in itself that are in your area, your zip code area. Maybe you don't want it, and they have in different states. Let's say you live in Atlanta. They have for Atlanta. You live in North Carolina.
Yeah. It's available in all 50 states.
All 50 states. So
Hawaii too?
Yes, Hawaii too. So they have them, and it's great. It's just really, really good, and I'm so glad that I had the opportunity to join with the people that introduced me to it. I've been talking about it for the past couple of weeks, and it's something that I really love and enjoy, and I've spoken to Liasia about it, my family and friends about it, and they've already down with it. They're down with the program. Okay, so Legal Shield, don't forget, we'll put all our information down. Before we wrap it up, we have not been able to do our cards. See our little cards here? We like to read them. I like to hear Liaja's opinion on it, what she thinks about it, what she reflects on it. So we haven't done this. We didn't do this the last episode.
I know, right? We haven't been reading our affirmations.
And everybody know we love some affirmations.
Yes.
So I'm going to have Liaja pick first.
Okay.
Them beautiful nails, yes.
I did red for Halloween.
Ooh.
Okay, mine says, I know growth is often disguised as discomfort.
Wow. That's beautiful.
I like this. Oh my God. And I just like the back. Like the back, if I don't know if y'all can see the picture. It looks like a bull and a lady carrying the moon.
Mm-hmm.
Very cool. You know, I'm like super into astrology and mythology and all these ologies.
So what do you think about what you picked up? What do you think about it?
This is facts. You can't grow without being uncomfortable.
Ooh.
You can't. You have to get uncomfortable. And I preach this to my little sister a lot when she does something and she's like, oh, but I'm not good at it. And I'm not thinking, I'm like, well, that's the uncomfortable part, right? Because no one's perfect when you try something. You have to be okay with failing or not being good at it at first, but you have to keep trying. It's just like going to the gym. Nobody walks into the gym and you work out for your first day
And think you're gonna lose weight.
Right. You gotta keep working out till it hurts damn near. And that's where you build muscle, right? You literally have to tear your muscle to build it. You have to like hurt yourself to build the muscle. That's life. That goes for anything in life. You gotta get uncomfortable. Gotta put in the work. You know.
I love it. So I'm gonna pick from our affirmation card deck.
And we got time. Well, we got 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And some change.
Yeah. So what I pick, I only do what sets my goal on fire. Oh, I only do what sets my goal on fire. Okay. Oh, okay. Let me think about this. Sets my goal on fire.
That makes me think of passion, because I'm a fire sign, fire. I like to do things that set my heart on fire, my goal on fire, I guess, right?
I don't know. I don't know. I have my mommy brain on right now, so let me think about this. I only do what sets my goal on fire.
What is something that you're really passionate about? Something that gets you going every day, that gets you out of bed, that's like...
Me being a mommy wife.
I'm like, look, ever since she got married, that is her, like, we need to, I don't know, copyright that. Like, she's like, I'm a mommy wife.
I love it.
I'm a mommy wife.
I love getting out of bed.
What you do as a mommy wife, Mom? Let them know.
I love being a mommy wife. I love getting up in the morning, making hot breakfast for my kids and my husband. I love catering to them. And it feels so good. And it leaves my heart feeling so beautiful. Like knowing that, you send them out in the world, but you send them with your special type of love. And we know that we live in a crazy world, just like we talked about in the beginning of this episode. And I would hate to say that I didn't tell my husband I love him. I didn't tell my daughters I love them. I didn't tell my son I love him.
Oh.
So being a mommy wife, it's a lot. A lot of maintaining, a lot of cooking and stuff.
A lot of cleaning.
But I love it because it really, despite what everything is going on in the world around me, being a mommy wife just puts a big smile on my face.
Oh,
it really does.
That's very cute.
Yeah, it really does. And so when I think about I only do what sets my goal on fire, I guess what sets my goal on fire is being a mommy wife. I like that my kids come to me, they rely on me.
We really got to copyright that, mommy wife. I'm like thinking of the type of font too. Like we got to put down some t-shirts. That's so cute. Because I feel like I've never heard anyone say like mommy wife, right? Yeah. I've never.
Because I'm a mommy and I'm a wife, so I'm a mommy wife. I just thought that was so beautiful to say. So yeah, I guess I could say that because I love it. This is what I'm doing. We're gonna pick another card because you know what, we still got some time.
Yeah,
and
I actually was gonna piggyback to something you brought up in the beginning.
Oh, go ahead.
When you talked about it's so crazy that we like 3 days into the NBA season, because I love me some basketball. We love basketball. We frequent a lot of games.
Yeah, it started.
Yeah.
The NBA season started already.
Yeah, that's what I
Right,
said.
okay.
And we dealing with a whole RICO case for fraud. That shit is crazy.
Let me pull it up.
Oh my gosh.
So we make sure
sports gambling is really becoming like this real big thing. Like, because we see a lot of people talk about like the good side of it. Like, oh my God, there's so much money in sports gambling. But who would have thought that it could lead to a whole FBI investigation and that there are players in the league that is in on this? But wasn't there like a famous baseball game? I think it was back in the, hold on. We'll hold that thought. Let me look that up. Mm-hmm. Remember when they like fixed the basketball game? Hold on. The baseball game?
Was it?
Yeah, that was like, I remember learning that in history.
Let's look it up. Okay, so that coach we're talking about, so it's Terry Rozier and Chauncey Billups. Billups, arrested as part of an FBI sports gambling probe. Wow. Yeah, this is big. And it's been on the news. It's been all over. So
Oh yeah, look, 1919.
Oh.
This has been going on for a long time, people doing fraud in sports.
Wow.
So back in 1919, the Black Sox scandal, baseball players fixed the World Series.
In 1919?
In 1919, yes, I remember.
I was gonna even be born.
We wasn't born.
Yeah,
This was
no, that's what I said. I wasn't even thought of.
no, you wasn't.
Yeah,
I don't even think Grandma was born.
Yeah,
yet.
no.
This is
no.
yeah. So they've been literally doing funny little fraud stuff in the sports industry for a very long time, and it's really sad that our brothers. Our people in our community are getting caught up with this bullshit. You can't beat the FBI. They got like a 99% accuracy rate.
Do they? Or they got a lot of informants. That's really cool.
Well, that's a part of their accuracy rate.
You know,
people be.
I honestly think, and this is my own personal thought and my own personal views. I think that the two people that being, because there's a lot of people. There's a lot of people that's on this indictment, but these two people are celebrities, of course. There are some celebrities, but these people are actually active member in the NBA. I feel like they were targeted. I feel like sports gambling has taken a level now. And don't forget that the sport gambling is happening in the casinos and stuff like that. So whenever the other people, I'm not mentioning no other people name, feels like there is competition or money taken out of their pocket, they do an investigation. They're finding out different things. Again, this is my thought on it. I'm not saying this is what it is. This is what I feel in my head. That's all Camille's idea in her head.
I agree. I definitely think, because I doubt that they're the only ones that are participating in this, because I'm pretty sure, right, that the people who own the teams, the people who sit on these boards, the people who created these concepts are really the puppet masters that are making everything go here, there, and there. And I don't see them on the FBI lineup list. Do you?
No, I don't. That's what again, my thoughts, our thoughts and views, not nothing out there. This is just our thoughts because we read the news, we analyze it ourselves, we see what it is. And like you said, a lot of this news could be trumped up news, but this is what's going on. So we're going to leave it at that. And I am going to pull another card.
Okay. Yes.
And this one says, I am a magnet when I stand in my power. Ooh. I'm going to give that 2 snaps and I'm going to give it. Clock that T.
Clock that. I like that.
Yes. I'm going to read it again because I kind of stumbled because it's in script too. I am a magnet when I stand in my power, period. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to say that is so true with everything you and I have decided over this 2024 that's about to finish in less than 2 months.
2025.
Oh my God, 2020. You see what I'm saying? That's that mommy-wife brain.
The mommy-wife brain?
Yeah. In 2025, that me and Leasia talked about so much things in the beginning of the year, and we have gravitated towards those things. So I do feel like a magnet of only good things that's sticking on to me. So I'm a clock
that. Clock
That's it.
it.
I am now gonna pass this over to her.
Oh, you want me to put another
one more? Yes.
Okay.
We gonna use about time.
Ooh, I love. We finna use this studio time. This might be a long episode. And by the way, if you guys want to send us questions, if you want to send us topics, have any suggestion for guests, or want to be a guest on the show, definitely reach out to us. Again, all of our information will be down in the description. If you're interested in joining LegalShield, signing up, because we all need a little legal representation.
We all do, not a little, because they offer a lot. So we're gonna say big representation.
Okay, big representation, right?
Exactly.
Definitely, the contact information will be below in the description.
Exactly.
So this says, I allow myself to receive, and I do. Speaking of receiving, if you are a sugar daddy and you are looking to...
Oh, no.
If you are a generous donor looking to donate to Passing the Crown, our wonderful episodes, our studio time, we will also have our Cash App information in the description. Because guess what? We are open to receiving any type of generosity or opportunity that the universe brings us.
We love it. And I love how you put that together. I feel like I need to put you in a commercial the way he said it. We love the opportunity.
Look, yeah. I'm open to receiving. Wasn't that I picked the right card?
You sure did. Look at her looking all gorgeous. It's like her mama.
You look gorgeous too. Emphasis on the outfit. You got the Barbie pink on with the
Barbie pink.
Could you get the camera?
Can we get the camera? Get a little shoes going here.
Like,
look at this jacket.
Yes.
Custom made jacket. Show you the little shoes. Here, look at the shoes.
Shoe cam.
Yeah, look at this. I did all this. No, today I had to step up my game because I had a few of my viewers tell me, Cam, can we see the fashion, or you whole fashionistas? I don't know. I need you to step it up. And I said, you know what? You're right. I'm stepping it up, and I threw on the jacket, threw on the belt.
Because let them know you a fly girl too.
Yes, all day and every day. I've always been this way. Thank you so much, guys. So now we wrapping up the show, Passing the Crown, episode 5. Again, don't forget, guys, subscribe, share, like, and repost.
Yes.
We appreciate you all. We're on all platforms. We appreciate when you look at Passing the Crown, and when I get the phone call, say, Camille, you know what I want you to talk about? Camille, you know what I like? I love those feedback. You know why? Because they're genuine. And those are those calls that I get and I appreciate. And then I do my research and I say, you're right. We're going to do it. We're going to implement it. We're going to put it on Passing the Crown. Yes. So thank you so much. And again, like Liasia said, for anybody who's interested in sitting on the, this one's not a couch, but sitting next to Liasia on her couch, please call us, DM us. We'll put all our information down.
And we could switch it up if you ever want to sit on this side.
I want to sit on this side next time.
I probably should have laid there.
Yeah. I want to sit on this side. So DM us, give us a call, let us know. We'll have you come on the show. We'll have you as a special guest. And our special guest is everyone. We don't cater to entertainers only. Everyone is our special guest.
Yeah, we haven't had none yet. So anyone's welcome.
Yes.
Even if you bob on the street, even if you work at McDonald's, look, even if you work at Louis Vuitton, you're all welcome.
Everyone is welcome on the show because Passing the Crown doesn't only mean a mother and daughter. It can be an auntie to a niece, an uncle to a nephew. So Passing the Crown means to us, to the next generation, to all of these younger ones.
This is a healing space for everyone.
It is. And every day I heal. I'm telling you, I say, thank you, God. I heal every day. So we are looking forward to hearing from you. Thank you again. We appreciate you. Passing the Crown, Liasia and Camille.
Bye.